Hello you two and welcome to your outdoor learning lesson. Today we're going to be looking at habitats and shelters, and this time we're going to be looking at how to make them waterproof. So I want you to do very similar to what I've done in my movie. We're going to build a shelter like we did last time. You can choose the type of shelter that you want. I have chosen to rebuild an A-frame shelter. Again, we're placing the sticks alternatively, and I've chosen a patch of ground where I can stick these ones in. I have chosen a patch of ground in the outdoor learning area to build mine. If you have an outdoor space, you might be able to build this in the outdoor space. If not, and you visit the park regularly, maybe you could take some sticks to the park and build it in the natural environment there. If you don't, not a problem. You can always build it on the piece of paper like we did last time. Now, to make my shelter waterproof, I've got to think. I'm going to try and use natural materials for one side and man-made materials for the other. And I'm going to see which one is more waterproof. So I've got to have a look all around the outdoor learning area to try and find things that are waterproof but natural. I know that leaves are waterproof from when I've watched the rainfall on them. So I might go and find different types of leaves to use in my shelter. Maybe you could do the same when you go and find yours. Those long leaves look useful. Maybe I can use them. There's some big thick leaves. They'll definitely be waterproof. How could I test if they're waterproof? I want you to think about how you can test if your plant leaves are waterproof. Maybe I can use these vines. I can weave these in through the structure. So now I've chosen my leaves that I am going to make waterproof. What we're going to do is weave them in and out of the sticks and create a waterproof sheet that goes over the top of my den using the natural materials. So I've used all my vines, and now I thought maybe I could use those long leaves that I found earlier. Maybe they could add a little bit more waterproof to it. So I'm not just using one type of leaf here. I'm going to use lots of different types of leaves to be able to make sure my structure is nice and waterproof. Don't forget, you've got to test these leaves to make sure they're waterproof. But I want you to think how you can test them. How can you make sure things are waterproof? And finally, I put the big leaves on to make it an extra bit of waterproof. Those big thick leaves I knew were waterproof. Finally, I've got the one side of my shelter done where it's waterproof. Now the other side. Here I'm going to use man-made materials. I've chosen some tin foil, some cling film, because I know these are waterproof materials. I tested them earlier. Don't forget, you've got to test your materials to make sure they are waterproof. If you remember, last year in year 1, you looked at waterproof and non-waterproof materials. Maybe you could use the same test. No, it's a different type of waterproof. So I've used tin foil, cling film and some cardboard that I found for the waterproof side for my man-made materials. Finally, my shelter is complete. One side all natural materials, the other side man-made materials. I can't wait to see what your shelter looks like and how waterproof it is. Don't forget to post your video.